Today's world is one filled with technology wherever you look, but it hasn't always been this way, and it sure isn't stopping now either. The 70s brought us the mainframe, the 80s, the PC. In the 90s, we started exploring the crazy world of the internet, and by the 2000s, we saw the groundbreaking, but now mundane concept of social media and smartphones emerge. These revolutions are heralded as the four disruptive computing paradigms, but what many people don't realize is that we're on the verge of adopting the fifth. The concept of interconnected and smart devices has been gaining ground for a while now, and more businesses are accepting completely digital forms of payment such as Bitcoin. While having your fridge notice that you're making breakfast and notifying your speakers to play music from your morning playlist on Spotify may still sound a little bit crazy today, it sounds a whole lot more possible than ever before. While the fifth paradigm certainly includes the so-called Internet of Things, what the average consumer won't consider is how this massive interconnected world will remain safe and stable, what will allow it to function. And it is this technology that is truly on par with things like the PC and the internet, and it's already here. In 2008, a man going under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto published a paper that would spark a revolution. It was called Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Now chances are you've heard of Bitcoin. It's a decentralized cryptocurrency, which essentially means it's purely digital money with no backing or control by any government or entity. A step into the new digital age, you could say. For the past 9 years, Bitcoin has proved itself to be resilient and secure, so it was almost inevitable that technology supporting it would be adopted to new uses. Before we explore those applications, it may first be helpful to answer a few questions. What exactly is a blockchain? How does it work? Well, the blockchain in its simplest form can be thought of as a public digital ledger that autonomously resists mutation from anyone. It's a super secure way to trade anything that's digital. The remarkable thing, however, is that autonomous bit. That's to say, it doesn't need a bank, government, or anyone backing it for it to run. It has tools built right into the code to ensure accuracy and security. Though the nitty-gritty of how this all works is far too much to explore right now, one security feature we can summarize is known as consensus. Blockchains store a history of all transaction data, from the first use of the chain to the most recent, on everyone's computer who uses it. And what this allows for is every time you make a transaction, the network checks the copy of the ledger you have against the majority of other users. And if it doesn't match, a potential sign of hacking, your transaction is discarded. Otherwise, it proceeds along and the updated copy of the ledger with that transaction added is broadcasted to the rest of the network as an update. Transferring the responsibility for accuracy from a human to a machine allows for a whole new level of trust and security. If you have further interest in the intricacies of this technology, as we barely glazed over the surface here, feel free to check out the paper linked in the description. So now that we hopefully have a grasp on the fundamentals, let's take a look at the side of the technology that may be of more interest to the everyday user, the applications. Some companies are seeing the hesitancies of the masses when it comes to adoption of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, but they still have interest in the technology that backs it. Services such as Abra and BitPay are trying to be a bit more mainstream, like PayPal or Venmo as opposed to Bitcoin, while still using the blockchain technology behind the scenes. This has allowed less tech-savvy people to have access to a hyper-secure and partially decentralized payment platform without necessarily needing to fully understand either of those terms. Colored Coin is a system built on top of Bitcoin that allows for the transaction of digital assets of pretty much any nature. It works by encoding a millionth of a Bitcoin, worth a few cents at most, with metadata pertaining to the related asset. This allows for transference of literally any asset you can put into a digital form with the same level of security and synchronization that Bitcoin is famous for. The world's second largest stock exchange, the Nasdaq, has partnered with a company called Chain6 to start development on the first blockchain-backed financial exchange market that will utilize their own blockchain in a similar manner to Colored Coin. Now, this may surprise you, but blockchain technology has already been used for voting purposes, just not in America. In 2014, Liberal Alliance, a political party in Denmark, became the first organization to use blockchain to vote. Seeing great success, it's continued to this day. With American voter turnout still shockingly low, distributed digital voting may represent a way to enfranchise current non-participants. Some sectors, though only just emerging, show great potential, such as those like data storage and personal identity. Storj is a company currently beta testing a blockchain-based form of cloud storage, similar to Google Drive or OneDrive, but with all the benefits of chain technology. This would hopefully amount to a faster and more secure service, two areas that recent events have shown we need to improve upon. Imagine a future where you have one single key for everything. It's what gets your car started, unlocks your front door, but it's also how you pay for groceries and can act as your driver's license. Enter the minds of companies like OneName and Keybase, who are really betting on the Internet of Things to bring their ideas to their fullest potential. Once everything is interconnected, they hope to run a system, backed by blockchain technology, that gives every user a unique ID, similar to a Bitcoin wallet address, that will be the Swiss Army knife of digital identification. Last, but most definitely not least, smart contracts are one of the blockchain's most promising and exciting mainstream applications. These are literally smart, self-executing digital contracts that are backed by the reliability of the blockchain. Basically, an agreement that has digitally verifiable conditions and parameters is settled upon by two parties. Once it's signed and entered into the blockchain, it will automatically take care of carrying out the terms of the agreement. And being part of the blockchain, neither party will be able to refute, prevent, or change this. This will have a massive array of applications and raise the bar on the expectations for fulfillment and dependability like never before. With this technology, charities promising to give away more than they actually do will be a thing of the past. Pharmaceutical corporations will be held to a level of transparency never before possible. Billions of dollars worldwide will be saved by financial organizations and governments through the cutting out of middlemen and their fees. Artists of all kinds will be able to receive money directly for every purchase or stream of their work. And potentially most important, legitimate, binding contracts can be drawn up and enforced by everyday people without the need for expensive lawyers and other intermediaries. Everything from guaranteeing you get paid back for pizza when your friend's next paycheck clears, to verifying that you did in fact go to that business conference your boss wanted. All can be achieved with smart contracts. While a fully integrated world is still a good few years off, I have a feeling we'll all be shocked at how quickly it seemed to emerge in hindsight. Though it's a problem few of us probably lose any sleep over, it is good to know there's a technology out there that's ready for us to turn the corner. For once, we won't have to play catch-up. We can develop for the technology of the future that's already here today.